All right, everybody. Today we are going to be making just a power cord cut with some test leads here on the end. I'm a student of electricity as well, and I am going to be doing some electrical videos showing just things that no one really taught us how to do in school, and just gonna start at the beginning with the basics. So I figured, since every electrical student or somebody learning wants to test anything, this is really nice to have. So yeah, let's get to it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the AC power cord, which is going to plug into your wall at home. It's alternating current. So first of all, you have this smaller size tab as opposed to the bigger side tab, and that's going to be your hot. That's going to be, well, current, it's going to run through everything, but that's going to be, I guess you could call it your on. And so you use usually a red lead. It can be black as well, or bare. But these things are always marked. Secondly, you are going to have your neutral, which is this big white tab, but don't let the name fool you. It's not neutral. It is active. It returns current and does play a big role. It can spark and explode too. And that's going to be attached with the white test lead. Lastly, this big cylinder here is your grounding, your ground. Pretty much all outlets are required to have that these days. Some in really old houses you might not. And that is usually green. So anyways, that is going to be your green test lead. All right, everybody, I am going to be sacrificing this generator as or battery charger, sorry, as I'm going to be taking it apart anyway at some point. So we are going to sacrifice the power cord. So here we go. So we cut through there. So you can kind of see, there it is, inside the green, white, black wire I was talking about. And that again is going to run those, each of those wires is attached. You got hot, neutral, ground. Okay, so now again, we're just gonna cut this open. Got a razor here. Just gonna do this quick. Gotta be a little careful. So you can, this blade is terrible. Can barely even cut through this rubber. All right, there we go. Gonna open that up. Okay, so as you can see again, I've got some insulated paper here. You'll see that sometimes. And then we've got our hot, which again, I can't really tell. I'd have to test it, but probably the right side here is the hot. And then we've got our neutral wire and our ground wire, and this is kind of a lime green, but it's green, so we know what that is. And let me just cut these open here. Let's see, take the knife again. Normally you could use wire strippers or whatever, but I'm not going to. This blade is just horrid. Come on. All right, looks like I'm gonna have to get my wire strippers. Hold on. Okay, here we go. So I've got the ground strips, wire strippers. These are my backup pair. Just gonna find the right size. Strip that bad boy. These ones are size 14, it looks like. Braided. So you can find either braided like this or solid, which I actually have a little wire here. Let me strip that in case you see something different on your end. I'm not sure what size this is. 14 maybe. Nah, it's the wrong size, damn it. Okay. So we've got solid. As you can see the difference. But either way, it'll work. Doesn't really matter for what we're making today. That's so you can see the difference. Okay, so this is really all you have to do to make one of these is I've got my red for hot. We know that black is hot. Let's make sure you get this right. And all you have to do is just make sure you get a connection. And just, all right, here, let's do it this way since I didn't leave myself much room. Just bend those around like that. Take a little bit of electrical tape. Sorry, I should just back up. We are going to want to cover that. And I'm just doing this really quick here. Take your time with this, make sure you do it right. But I'm not gonna be using this. Just doing this for the video. I have one already. So as you can see, just made that connection, covered it up. Gonna do the same guy with the green lead to green. Can save these rubber guys, pull them back. Oh, that's pretty bad. There we go. Just bend them around a little bit. And it really is important, make sure that you cover everything with the tape. You don't want any of the metal or copper, anything touching when you plug this guy in. These can be really dangerous. Definitely want to stress that, they're pretty necessary, especially if you're learning and trying to test different components and things, and I'll show how to do that in other videos. But it's just really important that you get those covered. Let's see, I can't find a white test lead. So what we're gonna do, since we don't have that, we'll use green to white. And before we cover it, we'll leave it out. Just give me one moment. Okay, so we had all the leads, the test leads connected to the right ends here. But I didn't have a white test lead, so we're gonna use white electrical tape to designate the neutral, because it is gonna be really important to know that when you are using this to actually test components and devices. If you plug the wrong one into the wrong area, you can get sparks to fly or short circuit, or things just won't work right. You'll be scratching your head. Okay, so we've got that marked as our neutral at the end there. We're gonna want to go to the other end of the neutral with this white tape. Get a little more here. And again, make sure if you're doing this at home, ever marking anything, make it, obvious what it is. So I'm just gonna do this really quickly because I don't really care. So I'm not gonna be using this. But anyway, I've got that end marked, so we know that that is the neutral now. And lastly, I would take these three ends just for safety purposes, assuming that all the wires and everything are covered. Wrap these guys again, like such. Boom, boom, boom. Cover everything up real nice and neat. I did that pretty quickly, so you got ends popping out there, but essentially that is what you're going to be looking at. You're going to want to have much more length than this when you actually make one at home. This is a good place to start so you can actually test things. You can't really buy these in stores. I've checked on Amazon stuff. I've never been able to find one. One of my electrical teachers did have one that looked manufactured, but maybe he just did it really nice and it looked like it was. I'm not sure. So again, yeah, that's how you can make these test leads. So anyways, yeah, that's that. It's really pretty simple. Any questions or comments, feel free to ask.